I'm Natalie Standridge, founder and franchisor of Casa de Corazon Intercultural Early Learning. Welcome to my podcast, Decades of Disruption. Here, I'll share my journey, the decades of stories and convictions that have driven my choice to not only contribute to, but also to disrupt the early childhood education industry. But these stories aren't only my own. I'll be joined by the people whose lives have been changed by what I've created and whose mere existence have been a constant source of inspiration to me too. If you're ready to challenge the status quo and build something truly unique and impactful, you're in the right place. Disruption has a purpose, and we're here to talk about it. Today we have a very special guest on the podcast. It's Casey Guevara-Lehker, who is the president and CEO of NPH USA. NPH stands for Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos, an international NGO that creates life-changing opportunities for disadvantaged and vulnerable children and youth living in extreme conditions. Through a comprehensive approach that embraces the whole child, NPH supports children to become independent, caring adults who give back to their communities, shaping better futures for themselves, their families, and their world. CASA is proud to sponsor various NPH homes throughout Latin America and the Caribbean through our annual 1K for Kids nonprofit event. We're so thrilled to have Casey in town visiting the Minnesota offices of NPH and taking time out of his very busy visit to share with us about his personal, professional, and disruptive journeys of leadership and change making. Welcome, Casey.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Really appreciate it.
Oh, so happy to have you here. So we'd like to start with a little bit of a personal background and introduction to you and your experience so far with NPH. So tell me your title, when you joined, and your history with the organization.
So as you said, my name is Casey Guevara-Lehker. I'm the president and CEO of NPH USA. And really, my trajectory with NPH began in 2015. I was introduced to NPH through a former national board member for NPH USA, John Shinsky. He's been a mentor to me ever since. And that really led me on a course that brought me to NPH, where I worked for 5 years. Had a couple of different roles, started off as a national trips coordinator, also worked with our international partners, worked with our national board. I then left NPH for a little bit, but as all good nonprofits should do, they don't let you go too far.
Right.
So I was on the national board for a little while and then came back in this role, and I've been in this role since September. So it's been great. It's been, good to be back with the NPH family and to be in this role now. And I think that there's just an incredible opportunity for us ahead.
So awesome. So I think as modern leaders, sometimes one thing that we have to be conscious about is our public image.
True.
And I'm just curious, is there anything that might surprise people about you and those who know you primarily as the leader of NPH?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I'm also a father of two.
Nice.
I have a daughter who's just turned 2 in March, and I have a son who is 4 months old.
Oh my goodness, love those ages.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's a very busy time at our household. But when I'm at home, I'm just dad.
Yeah.
I'm goofy. I like to joke. I like to wrestle.
So great.
I like to play around. So those are, I think, some things that people might not know about me, I guess, right off the bat. The other interesting thing I think that I would share would be I'm a bit of a music nerd.
Okay.
I'm kind of all across the board.
Yeah.
I like to to stay current. I also like to go to a small music venue, see a quote unquote undiscovered band.
Yes. So fun.
A couple of people that I'm listening to now, Los Campesinos.
Okay.
I really like them. MJ Lenderman.
Okay.
And Newly for Yana.
Okay.
Very into
Not
these.
familiar, but have to check
There
them
you
out.
go.
We
Yeah.
have a lot of very great small music venues here in Minneapolis.
You
so
do.
hopefully
You
you have a
do.
chance to check out some music
Yep.
while you're here.
Yeah, you definitely do. One of my favorite artists, actually, from way back in the day, came from the Twin Cities area. The underground rapper known as Atmosphere.
Of course. Yeah.
Yes.
That is from my day and era.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very good. Yeah.
Very familiar with that one.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay. I love to hear that about you. So back to the family piece. I think a
Yeah.
lot of our listeners really grapple with balancing high-level careers
Yeah.
and family life. Do you have an intentional practice besides the one you mentioned of wrestling and getting on the floor
Yeah,
with your
sure.
kids that really helps you stay grounded in both?
Yeah, I think, across whether it's personal or professional, something that's critical is just communication. Communication with my partner, with my wife.
Yes.
She's incredible. We sit down on a weekly basis on Sundays and write out what the next week looks like.
Okay, that
And
is an intentional practice
Totally.
if I ever heard one.
It goes on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
It has everybody's kind of different commitments, appointments, things that we're going to have to do. So I think that is just grounding,
So good.
and it's
Yeah.
all family related, and we like to do that. We also like to do that in a quiet setting. Try to
Totally.
do that kind of during nap time, so it's just
Sure.
we have the one-on-one time.
Just the two of you.
Yeah, which is
That's
really
super
helpful. So,
smart.
and again, that goes back to communication.
So important. No, that's really, really helpful and a great idea for people. So tell us a little bit more about your role at NPH. What's the most challenging thing you have to do and the most fun?
Yeah, I'd say the role in general is fun. I think being in the position of president and CEO, I get to interact a lot with our international partners, which is
Nice.
great. Get to hear what's happening on the ground on a regular basis, but then also get to translate that and bring that to our donors.
Yeah.
And to keep them informed, which is really important because keeping them close to the mission is really critical. So that's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, that's a lot.
The other thing that's challenging is there's just, in these types of roles, there's just a lot. There's so many things that we could be doing or should be doing.
Of course.
So to
Yeah.
maintain vision, clear priorities, stay on track, I think it's easy to get pulled off of the train that you're on.
Yeah.
Which makes it just doubly important to stay focused and to stay true to what the vision is and what you've communicated to others around you.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And I think a lot of leaders also grapple with that, right?
Yeah.
Being pulled in a million different directions and having to choose what to
Yeah.
prioritize in order to stay focused on our true core mission.
Yeah, the judgment calls, I think, is what really it comes down to so many times. But it's what makes it fun is that it's dynamic.
Yeah, that's inspiring. So, segueing a little bit more into your history, can you reflect on a time in your career when you faced real uncertainty about your own path? And how did you navigate that period of discomfort? Like,
Yeah.
what did it reveal about you to yourself?
Yeah. It's interesting because I grew up with a family that traveled specifically to Latin America and did so in a way that we really touched a lot of different communities.
Nice.
And so I think that those early kind of seeds were planted.
Yeah.
And so when it came to really choose a career and to choose a path, I kind of always felt moved in a certain direction. And so it's been pretty clear to me. It's just been, what are the opportunities, what are the decision points along the way that ultimately help me as an individual realize what I feel like is my core mission as a human.
Okay.
And some of those things, one I can specifically point to is prior to being at NPH USA this most recent time, I was at the U.S. Soccer Federation.
Yeah.
And that was a ton of fun. And
Yeah.
there was so many cool experiences. I went to 2 World Cups,
Fun.
got to meet some of my idols, got to know
amazing.
one of my idols on a very personal basis.
Wow.
So coming back to NPH was a pretty big decision in terms of going from something that was a very certain, very fun job and role to coming back and working with NPH and ultimately saying, this is my direction.
Okay.
This is what I want to be involved in.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to leave a mark, this is the best way to do it.
Isn't that so important in our careers and lives, right? To do something that's lasting and creates change.
Truly.
I know you're passionate about social change and being a part of it.
Truly. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I just have to know, who was your soccer idol that you got to know personally?
There's a couple. So I really liked working with Greg Berhalter. He was the head coach at the time, just a phenomenal individual and someone who just very easygoing, very good to know. And then actually somebody who I came to know also who, again, is now a friend and a mentor in a lot of ways, is Cindy Parlow-Cohn.
Awesome.
An incredible human, an incredible athlete. And also just, I knew her also now as, I saw her as a mom.
Yeah.
And being able to see her in that light too was very illuminating.
Right?
Yeah.
Seeing these
totally
high level driven people also have that softer side of parenting, and that's so inspiring.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
So there's a myth that managing a nonprofit is less complex than running a traditional company. From your perspective, how would you challenge that?
I'd say it's almost more challenging.
Interesting. Say more.
I think that we have a lot of different stakeholders that we, in so many ways, report to.
Of course.
Donors, staff, donors at different levels, and naturally the service recipients.
Yes.
I mean, ultimately, that's who we are working for. And I think that there's also kind of a component, as a nonprofit, we operate in the exact same world as a for-profit, but in my mind, just under a different tax law.
Sure.
And so it's very similar. The added, in some ways, difficulty, stress, I guess in some ways, is if we don't come through on our mission, what does that mean to the people who are dependent on us delivering, whether that's education, whether that's money for the operations? So there's an added level of stress in some ways.
I feel that.
Because you really have to come through.
Yeah. And it's not dependent on just your leadership or your team doing their jobs. It's dependent on a lot of moving parts for funding and carrying out the services.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think that just, adds to the complexity of it.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so vamos a hacer algunas preguntas en español, porque sé que eres bilingüe, bicultural, como nosotros aquí en casa.
Sí.
Has visitado varias casas de NPH en Latinoamérica. ¿Cuál de estas experiencias ha transformado profundamente tu visión sobre el trabajo humanitario?
Pues la primera casa de donde yo fui a visitar era en El Salvador. Y ahí es donde yo conocí NPH.
Me encanta ese hogar. Yo también he ido.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Pero también es como hay un poquito de mágico o magic allá. Es diferente.
100%.
Es diferente. Entonces, para ver la misión, para ver la gente trabajando, todos, la staff, los que están viviendo allá, los que están de la comunidad, todos están como integrados y todos están luchando para la misma cosa, para la misma visión, para la misma, no sé qué es, pero puedes como sentirlo, ¿no?
Se siente.
Ya, y entonces allá es como yo estaba, bueno, este es algo diferente. Aquí es donde yo quiero hacer una marca, yo quiero trabajar, yo quiero luchar con ellos, ¿no? Sí.
Muy bonito y el equipo de ese hogar allá en El Salvador es increíble, los niños tan cariñosos, bonitos, me encantó mi visita allá también. Ok, y vamos a hablar un poco de los hermanos mayores.
Sí.
Los graduados del programa se llaman por ese nombre y ese título de honor, hermanos mayores. Son una constante inspiración, creo, para los chiquitos y también para el programa en total. ¿Puedes compartir alguna historia o encuentro específico con un hermano mayor que haya impactado tu enfoque como líder?
Pues es como cuando yo estaba en NPH Guatemala. Yo, como se dice, reconnected con un graduado que se llama Alexis. Y yo ya conocí a Alexis por unos años, pero para ver a Alexis ahora como un adulto, como un padre, como alguien que tiene una familia y él también tiene sus dudas, pero también todavía sus sueños.
Claro.
Y ver cómo él también tiene una niña que tiene 2 años. Yo tengo una niña que tiene dos años.
Sí.
Entonces, somos similares.
Qué bonito.
Y entender que nosotros somos tan similar es como, otra vez, yo quiero estar parte de la familia grande, la familia de NPH.
Qué bonito.
Porque él es parte de mi familia.
Claro que
Su niña es parte de mi familia.
Claro que
y yo sé que mi niña es también parte de su familia. Entonces es como...
Sí, es una empatía muy especial que se forma con estos jóvenes que también se convierten en adultos como nosotros.
Sí, así es. Wow. Era una inspiración. Yeah.
That's so amazing that he inspired you.
Yeah.
And continues to do so to this day. Yeah. And I'm quite sure that you inspire him as well.
I hope so. I hope I can.
We're all part of
he
this.
keeps me updated as well. He'll send me like text message. I got a job here. I'm doing this. And so just maintaining the communication is really nice.
That's what I have with my goddaughter that I adopted in NPH Mexico.
In Mexico, okay.
She keeps in touch with me on WhatsApp, and she's always, this is the school I'm going to. This is what I'm studying. These are I'm learning English, all of those things.
It's so grounding and
so
real.
Awesome.
It's right. It's just, they're doing it through the same things that we are here.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It's all one life. So beautiful. So, okay, we've touched on your love for soccer, but I would love for you to compare your philanthropic style to a position on the field. What would it be, and why does it naturally fit you?
Interesting. So in soccer, I think, I'm not sure if you're familiar with, but a lot of times the positions correspond to specific numbers.
Sure.
So you might say a number 9 is the striker.
Okay.
And a number 10 is the person that is the creative person on the field.
Got it.
Or the number 1 is a goalie.
Got
it. So
okay.
I would compare myself to a number 6.
Okay.
Or somebody that would be called a holding midfielder.
Okay.
And the job of a holding midfielder is to make sure the defense is protected, but to also set the offense on a course for success.
Such an important position.
It would seem so.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, where I would compare myself. I like to be in the middle. I like to try to also make people around me successful.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, that's what others have done for me in the past. And so kind of learn from people around you. So that's, I'd say, the number 6, also known as a holding midfielder, would be me.
Such a great analogy. And I think, lifting other leaders up and other allowing other people to fulfill their full potential is basically what makes us good leaders.
Yeah.
So that's so important. Okay, so in the same spirit of soccer, we often all have that one unforgettable goal in our lives that we made. What has been your most meaningful professional goal at NPH so far, and how has your love for the game inspired or shaped that accomplishment?
Again, another good question. Let me think. So it's interesting because I've only been in the role for 8 months.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
but even in your prior roles at NPH too.
Yeah. I'd say right now, today, we are in preseason. So continuing with the sports analogy, we're in preseason, and there's a goal that we have to advance and involve the organization.
Yeah.
And that's a big goal, but
That's
it takes a lot of getting things ready, making sure foundations are set, making sure that we have the best structures and paths to make ourselves successful.
Yeah.
So right now, I think that we're in a time of preseason training.
Yep.
We're getting ready and getting in shape so that we are in a good position to really take advantage of opportunities that we'll be creating down the road. So the goal needs to be realized. And I think that it's important also to identify what the goal is and say we still have work to get there.
Great.
Right?
No.
So,
and I think it's very exciting for the organization to have you leading it because it's such a legacy organization founded in history, but
totally.
To your point, it also must evolve to stay living and breathing in the future. So I'm excited to watch that happen.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in today's world of constant distractions, how would you encourage younger generations to weave meaningful acts of philanthropy into their everyday lives?
Yeah. So it's very interesting. I think that we as just nonprofits in general struggle with how much distraction there is.
Right.
Right now, I always say this, right now I could pull out my phone and scroll through, name your social media platform, and see 20 different things in about 10 seconds.
I know.
So how do you grab attention? How do you focus attention? And I really would encourage folks to identify what they're passionate about, commit time to it, commit bandwidth to it, because ultimately your richness in what you receive in return is only going to be equal to the effort that you put into it. And that's what others, again, in my life, people have encouraged me to do that, to lean into things.
Yeah.
And that's been really helpful for me. I think that we all stand on the shoulders of those that have come before us. And we all learn from great mentors, great people that we've had along the way. So it's important to lean into things and to commit time, energy, and passion.
So what is it about NPH in particular that grabbed your attention, right? That inspired you to commit such a big chunk of your career to it?
The people.
Okay.
Number one, absolutely the people.
So
Again,
beautiful.
kind of going back to how I was raised and connecting with many communities in Latin America and the Caribbean. It's just been incredible to continue to be connected to these communities. And I think that is number one. Also, we as an organization are actively disrupting the cycle of poverty. And I truly believe that is the way forward for us as humans, us as humanity.
Yes.
Education is something that we provide and that we think is an incredible pillar of our mission. And so how do we continue to bring that to more people? Because ultimately, education is the way, I think, to break the cycle of poverty. And that's what we do on a daily basis. So inspiring. And
let's dig in on that even a little more, because when we first started sponsoring NPH, I thought it was a home for children to live and have their basic needs met, right? To take them out of vulnerable situations, or sometimes in cases where children didn't have parents or parents couldn't take care of them. When I went and visited my first home 4 years ago, that's when I realized it's so much more.
So much more.
We're literally breaking the cycle of poverty through education, but it's not even just that. And I feel funny saying just that because it's so much to provide education to these kids. There's other kids from the community that don't even live there that come to the school because it's so good.
Correct.
And then we're also having social supports, right? We have Chicas Poderosas, which is like a girl empowerment, teaching girls that they're just as powerful as boys. club almost group, right? Where these girls feel that they're part of something and they're being taught things that maybe they weren't taught
Absolutely.
as young children in their communities. And then we have medical clinics literally on campus to help people with medical needs. And then cultural events and opportunities for them to learn danza azteca or any sort of other cultural meaningful piece of their community. And it's just such a robust and multifaceted support system for these kids that goes so beyond food and shelter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right. And I would even say, family strengthening programs, helping parents be parents.
Yeah.
How do we teach parents how to be effective parents? I know it's not easy.
No.
It's super not easy.
No, we need support.
Exactly.
It's intense.
And we need people who have done this before to teach us. And how do you have that in your life? And, in some ways we absolutely want and are a place for children to come and to live if that is what they need at the end of the day.
Right.
But ultimately, what support can we provide so that they can stay with their family or be with a family member?
Thank
because
you
that's
for clarifying
very
that.
important. And like you said, it's a holistic approach.
Yes, it is.
We don't just do education. We don't just do nutrition. We don't just do health. We do all of it because that's what encompasses an individual. I'd say it's also challenging. I mean, we want to provide individuals with lots of different care, but every individual is different.
Right.
There is no one size fits all.
Yeah.
So if you really want to provide a holistic approach to care, you have to have a lot of different services and programs available.
That's the other thing that I've observed when I've gone to visit these homes is NPH is such a yes organization, right? If there is a member of the familia that needs something that NPH doesn't currently provide, NPH finds a way.
Yeah.
It's very, very inspiring.
Yes.
And I also just want to highlight what you pointed out about helping people transition into parenthood. This is not an organization just for little kids. This is an organization that is helping people at a young age so that they can grow up into successful, amazing members of their community as adults and transition into adulthood.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And again, going back to just my own reflection is I know that when I was 17, 18 years old, I still needed a lot of support.
Of course.
I needed
That's when
a lot.
we need sometimes the most support.
Exactly. A lot of things are coming at you fast. And how do you figure out what's the best way forward and what career paths and or do you continue education? And so we stay with the child who is now an adult and help them navigate those really complex scenarios in their lives.
I know my 20-year-old son has talked to me a lot more in the last 3 years than he talked to me when he was in high school. So that's when we need support.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'm going to ask you a personal question now, Casey.
Okay.
If you had the chance to talk with your 5 years younger self and give him a piece of advice that you wish you would have had at that time, what would it be?
Stick with it. Keep going.
Yep.
Keep going. Keep pushing. Stay with it. You might not know it, but you're on the right track.
Okay.
Listen to those around you.
Yeah.
Continue to ask for advice, seek counsel. Really, I've been very fortunate in my life to have people around me that are guiding. They guide you, and you can really lean on them.
That's really great.
And I think it also goes back to, again, kind of what we were just talking about in terms of with NPH. It's so critical to have people in your life that you can rely on and that you can ask for advice. And
that's exactly what I was just thinking. Like what you're saying you had is now what you provide through NPH.
And NPH does that for so many children and so many adults. And it's just critical to have that in different stages of life. So again, if I was to give some advice to my 5 years ago self, stay with it, listen to the people around you.
So good.
Yeah, keep going.
Very inspiring. So if any of our listeners or people watching this today would like to know more about NPH, or maybe how they can sponsor a child or sponsor the organization or go on some of
Yeah.
these international trips that have
Yeah.
changed your life and mine, where should they get info?
nphusa.org.
Okay.
nphusa.org.
Okay.
It's the place where we have everything from the international trips to how to sponsor a child to
Right.
how to make a planned gift.
Nice.
There's a lot of different areas that you can get involved in. We have specific local communities that are putting on events that you can volunteer at, or again, come and join us down at one of our international trips, which
Yes.
are truly life-changing experiences,
100%.
as you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
They truly are. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope
Yes.
people will visit the organization's website and become a part of the amazing things that you're doing.
We hope so too. nphusa.org. Thank you.
Perfect.
So if there was one piece of advice, and I'm sure that you're well aware of this, but it's ultimately just how valuable communication is.
Yeah.
How valuable keeping people in the loop is. Follow-up is critical, especially when we talk about fundraising.
Yes.
It's the cornerstone of good fundraising is communication and being
So
really
good.
thoughtful about what that communication is.
Yes, that's so important. And I'm still learning this because I feel like the more transparent my organization becomes and the more I communicate, the more people want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And sometimes
Yep.
in the past, I would feel like I was over communicating or I, was boring people or didn't need to say so much. But turns out people who want to be involved with an organization like CASA, with an event like the 1K for Kids, with an organization like NPH, they're very interested in exactly what that organization is doing and how it's impacting not only their own lives and their own children, but the lives of others.
Yeah, and I think that goes so far too of being transparent. Somebody told me transparency and clarity are kindness.
True.
And those things have always, that saying has always stuck with me. And I think that we can also say, our work is not easy.
Yeah.
And there are challenges, and we can be transparent about those challenges
Yes.
and communicate them. It's not always success and,
100%.
and love and everything. We always approach things with that as an end goal, but we need to be really clear that our work is difficult.
Yep.
And we need your help in getting there.
That's so interesting because I feel like in some of the biggest crucibles of my career and most challenging times, when I had no choice but to say, hey, team, this is hard.
Yeah.
Hey, team, I'm not sure what to do here. Hey, families,
Yes.
we're doing the best we can, are the times when people felt the most connected with the organization and able to contribute, and even more trust is built when we admit that we're not perfect.
Yes, exactly.
So good.
I think you're spot on. And I would want to ask you, if you had any advice for me,
Oh boy.
what would that be?
Oh, advice. I guess it's just to keep balance. I think that when we work in mission-driven organizations, it's so easy to become tethered to our work in a way that it almost becomes our core identity.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing because it helps us do amazing work in the world and make a ton of impact. But I think that I wish that when I had a 2-year-old and a baby, or in my case, it was a 3-year-old and a baby,
Yeah.
that I would have been able to maintain a better balance with running my company and being 100% present for my little kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you travel a lot, and that's wonderful and
Truly.
inspiring, and
Yeah.
the way we want to live, but just involving your kids in all of those things as much
Yeah.
as humanly possible.
I like what you said too. It's about balance.
Yeah.
Because you still want to have your mission and be part of who you are. But at the same time, your family is also who you are.
Of course.
And so
yes.
that balance is critical. And one opportunity that I think, like you just said, that I will as a person be hoping to leverage is I do get to travel. I do get to go to El Salvador and Guatemala, and I am so excited to be able to bring my kids and my wife there and to show them.
Amazing.
Because ultimately that's also how I grew up.
Of course.
So translating that is going to be, I think, really important for us.
Yeah.
But
I'm
again,
sure you'll do great.
The balance is going to be critical. Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, it's been so inspiring and amazing to have Casey on the podcast today. This is just a culmination of the volunteer work that we do at CASA, the philanthropic work that we do, and the organization of NPH that we absolutely love to partner with. So thank you, Casey, again for being here. It's so inspiring to speak with you.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much, Natalie.